Unaware and apparently unapologetic. Our next guest grilling Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein yesterday over bias at the Justice Department and right in the Mueller investigation. Joining me now is Texas Congressman and member of the House Judiciary Committee, Louis Gohmert. Good to see you again, Congressman.
It's great to see you, Dave.
What did you think of Rod Rosenstein? He stood by Mueller. He said that Mueller deserves credit for having gotten rid of, or at least demoting, Peter Strzok, the guy that wrote those incredibly biased messages to his lover in the Justice Department. Did you think he acquitted himself well or not?
No, I think he wants to do the right thing, but I think he is in over his head. But as far as Mueller getting rid of Strzok after these things became public, there's no way any person with eyes to see and ears to hear could not have been aware that Strzok had this kind of vengeful hatred for Donald Trump and his supporters. I mean, how vile do you have to get to say that I could smell his supporters at Walmart? I mean, this guy hated Trump to his core.
But you know, Congressman, what's worse than that, this is more than just I hate Trump. This is let me use the power of the Justice Department and the FBI to subvert an election. Let me just run, for those who've forgotten, let me just run a little piece of one of those messages that he sent to his friend there. There's no way Trump gets elected, but I'm afraid we can't take that risk. And then he goes on to talk about an insurance that he has against the possibility of Trump getting elected. What do you make of that?
Well, Dave, you've just put your finger on the scariest part of all the texts we've seen so far, because clearly, if you can't take a chance that he could end up being president, and you're putting a plan in motion, and you're in Andy's office, it's got to be Andrew McCabe, and we know he's a Democrat political hack and operative up to his eyeballs, and they're formulating a plan. This sounds like the worst nightmare of people who have been afraid that they are losing their country and that people want to remove the people's choice for president.
Well, Congressman, you're a former judge. As a former judge, should a person at Justice trying to subvert, talking to another colleague at Justice, in this case his mistress, about subverting an election, using the powers of government to do that, shouldn't he be going to jail?
That's what needs to be investigated. It's one thing to say it, and I'm not like my friends across the aisle that think that if you have a thought that you dislike somebody and it's somebody they think you should not dislike, you should go to jail. I think there has to be some action that carries out that kind of intent.
Well, do we know, Congressman, whether or not he actually took any action? Because the Inspector General's been looking into this. He's apparently going to come out, the IG is going to come out with a bombshell report about all this shortly. Will that include information about what insurance they took out against President Trump, or what he might have done to subvert the election?
Now, I think this is a form-fitted situation. Now that we're seeing these texts, I talked about the need for a second counsel. Now, there's no question. The Inspector General can do an independent investigation, as hopefully he or she has done. But if it's going to be pursued, it can't be the Justice Department. There's got to be a special counsel that will look at these folks, Andy McCabe, Strzok, all these people that wanted to create an insurance policy. They have got to investigate them for potential crime. Maybe it was a misdemeanor, maybe it was treason, but it needs to be investigated, because if these guys were trying to subvert the will of the American people and the vote, then it is a high crime, and it's going to carry prison with it.
Congressman Louis Gohmert, good stuff. Thank you very much, Congressman.
Well, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
You're obviously in tune.